My name is Imi Akpan. I'm the country manager at Opay in Nigeria. Financial inclusion still hasn't happened in Nigeria. We need to understand that. In spite of the fact that the banks are doing a lot, we find out that there's a segment they still haven't been able to connect with. And that's where we play. We play in the informal sector. And that's why we are a mobile payment entity, a licensed CBN mobile entity. And our target market is the target market that has been financially excluded for many years in Nigeria. Over 40%, almost 40% of the adult population in Nigeria is financially excluded, according to reports of 2018 from the FINA reports. And so the thing is that if the banks are still doing so much and yet people are still financially excluded, then obviously we're not still connecting with that segment of the market. And for us, innovation is important to connect with them. We're providing the appropriate technology, appropriate tools to connect with them. About almost 70% of the adult population have mobile phones today. So the thing is that technology is very, very important because we're in a digital world now. We're also providing the kind of products and services that are innovative that would meet their needs. So people are interested in having access to finance to do certain things. So Oride is a very good example of that. Many people can afford to meet the regulatory requirements for even the kind of bikes they need to have. So for instance, in Lagos, the regulation says that it's a 200cc bike. But I know one or several people who have been able to meet that requirement, and we provide the platform for them to meet that requirement. So we give them the bikes, we give them the tools, we empower them to be able to get into that space and actually, earn a living. And then also grow potentially because they also get the benefit of training. They get, because many people are not able to achieve professionalism or reach their peak because they just don't have the requisite training and the right kind of exposure and tools to do that. Because people are not literate does not mean they are not smart. I mean, if someone can use a mobile phone, no matter how illiterate he is, then he can actually learn and do certain things. I'm sure you understand that. I mean, they know how to top up their phone. So if you taught somebody how to make a payment on their mobile phone, then it's possible to do the same thing. We currently have agents spread across Nigeria who are able to also connect with the people in the rural areas to be able to make their payments. They know at least they can go to an agent and get the right support. So you also have to come back to their level to be able to engage them. And some of the core members in our team have that, have that experience in dealing with the categories of people who are target market. Engage them, train them, they're able to speak in their language, and so we find that, the average man who we thought could do whatever, they're using the mobile phone today on the bikes to even book the ride, do certain things. Taxation is a normal thing you will find in any state, city, or nation. It's actually what the government requires to maintain service, maintain infrastructure. And so, for startups, it's always a challenge. But I think the government has in place a policy that provides some exemption for certain things that startups, whatever. I think there's a 3-year exclusion for startups who would normally who they are exempt from taxes for certain period of time. So it's possible for them to actually make appropriate use of those exclusions to be able to support their business and sustain their business. So the thing is that tax is normal. You can't shy away from it. At some point in time, you have to pay tax. But first you need to understand that also we've been paying tax because the business name for Opay in Nigeria is actually Paycom Nigeria Limited, and Paycom started about 10 years ago, in 2010, almost 10 years now. So we've been paying taxes, so we're used to that. Well, so far they're new businesses. So I mean, All Right is pretty new. I mean, it was just launched sometime in May. All Food also was launched recently. So, I mean, the issue of tax has not become a problem yet. But definitely we have the local governments and people also coming to see us, to follow up with us on certain things. But we do make payments on tax on payee and all the other things already. So, so tax isn't really a big issue right now. I mean, competition is good. So I must say that competition is good. It's a bad thing when there's no competition, because then you don't have any benchmark to see where the difference is. How we differentiate ourselves is in our innovation. Very important for us, because we want to provide unique services, and I'm sure that I mean, if you do a quick survey in the market, people can tell that most of our services are unique. So we are building a super app, and we have the experience to do that. I mean, some of our partners, our global partners, have been involved in this, and some of our team members have experience in building super apps. So the way is that, I mean, so we're building a super app that has everything that you need, because it's a lifestyle issue. I want to book a ride, I want to pay for food, I want to pay my bills, I want to do everything. So we have the technology, we have the good team of programmers, both locally and globally. We also, have the capacity financially to be able to go out to the market and make that difference that we intend to make. And most importantly, payment is a core backbone of any service that you see. You can't really achieve much without a core backbone, and that's where we started our business. The backbone is there to make the payments through the various channels that that people would need to make the payments. Okay, so first, the thing about the unions and the riders and the challenges that we face, I mean, those challenges are real. But we are responding to it. In fact, before we even began the rollout of the service, we recognized that we needed to engage several stakeholders, which included the government and also even the unions. And we are constantly engaging them. Obviously, there needs to be a reorientation on things. It's not an easy walk, but we are constantly engaging them. I can't say fully what you understand we're doing, but we're actually engaging them. We have a series of meetings with them. We believe that we'll be able to work out something that will be beneficial to all stakeholders. Well, I mean, we try to respond to those things. I don't have any clear report on anyone who's been beaten up. I mean, obviously they've been harassed, but the thing is that we are responding to those things, and when we see them, we respond to them. We actually send our people there to act on them and resolve them, whatever issues. Okay, so now the insurance, we do provide insurance for the rider and for the passenger. I mean, we cover accidents, we cover death. So there's a cover in place because safety is very important, and but accidents will happen no matter what, and so we have to make provision for it. So from the get-go, I actually made provision for insurance for all parties that involved. Yes, I mean, OPay is already across many cities in Nigeria. I mean, we have agents all across Nigeria. I mean, today we have a base of over 40,000 agents across Nigeria. So All Right is just also on the rollout phase. I mean, like I said earlier, the regulation actually requires a 200cc, and the bikes that we provided at All Right Green are actually 200cc. So they are resprayed, to meet the colors that we expect and well branded. So it's just the standard models that the government expects us to put in place in Lagos. Yeah. There are regulations, that restrict us from certain areas, and those are things that we constantly are engaging the government on. So I can't. It's just a very, very. It's an area that I think that we shouldn't. Yes, that we shouldn't. We would like to look at, and we'll keep engaging government on. Yeah, so far so good. It's been good. I think now there's a bit more. There's been no real friction, and I think that things are working on. And I think that there's some new regulations that the government is working on to make sure that only professionals play in that space. Well, currently I think we have over 600 or more bikers. Female bike riders. Well, the thing is, we are gender friendly. I mean, there's nothing stopping, a lady from doing what a man can do, as they always say. So we're gender friendly. If a woman wants to ride a bike and she wants to make it, I've seen women drive buses, I've seen women ride bikes. Well, currently, I mean, we are almost 2,000 strong. Full-time staff, I'd say about 40-50%. That includes bikers.